conditioning.
Hey, let's go.
I blow dried his hair, trimmed his ends before we washed it. Then Letty gave
We're using all of the blue products.
Working on a good one now.
shout out to the H-Town loctician who helped start the process with us, and to Blue and every hand that contributed to this process. By the end, we kept getting better at our own individual techniques.
Sir taught us.
Okay.
It doesn't hurt.
Check out that technique.
I really admire Jay's patience. After 6 days of removing his locks, we spent another day detangling and really deep conditioning.
Hey, let's go.
I blow dried his hair, trimmed his ends before we washed it. Then Letty gave him his cornrows. This is our wrap and set foam. I'm gonna put this on his cornrows. And used our oil, our balm, and moisture sealing lotion for his braid down and his do-rag. And on show day, his fro was beautiful from start to finish. I want to thank Jay for trusting Sacred on his hair journey.
Yo, so we back in here for another edition of F-ya-Motha, and this is like a month later. Everybody was saying Jay-Z was wearing a lace front, and how did he comb out locks? Well, you just got to see the process. And I will say, these niggas, him and Beyonce, are genius because they know how to market products, right? What other way to market a hair product from a hairline that you have other than combing out your husband nap ass hair out of locks? I will say that's genius. I got no problem with it. But this shows all you fool ass niggas that yes, you can comb out locks, and this is essentially his fucking hair came to be how it is now, right? For all the naysayers out there. Now, I will say, because he had locks, they combed it out. It probably was some breakage substantially, because that's what happens when you got your shit pent up. And as for a nigga like me that's had hair majority of my life, I think I've had like waves out of my 43 years of living. I think, you know what, I won't even delegate it to waves. I think out of all the haircuts that I've had combined time, it may have been about 6 years, maybe. I've cut my hair off between 2012 and I say 16, 2 times. I've had hair majority of my life, right? It's part of my identity. However, I'm never scared to give it up. I don't want to. As it recedes, you just work with it, right? I never understood for the life of me niggas that majority of their life, their identity is low cut hairstyles. If you look at Jay-Z from all his pictures from the 80s, majority of his identity has been like short hair, right? The Caesar. So the fact that a nigga is like had gotten into his 50s and want to grow out a blowout, he was sitting there looking like somebody's old ass auntie. I'll never understand it. That's almost like if DMX was still alive and decided to comb his grow his hair out. It's just fucking weird. It was weird when Ja Rule had braids. It was weird for the stint that I think Nelly had braids. It was weird when 50 Cent had braids. It was weird when any nigga, especially New York niggas, like when New York niggas grow hair, because I've known New York niggas, or at least all the New York niggas I've known, they've always had low haircuts, Caesars, tapers, shit like that. When they grow hair, it's just weird. I've always, since I've been a little kid, looked at long hair as like a Midwest thing, for the most part, because it is, right? Most artists that came into hip hop in the mid 90s that had long hair was either from the West Coast or the Midwest. You didn't see a lot of niggas from the South and a lot of niggas from the East Coast. But then, I mean, I know there's gonna be some people out there. Well, Outkast had braids, and they were like the few. It wasn't that many. I can name more niggas from Atlanta that came out of Atlanta that didn't have long hair than niggas that did. Same thing with New York. You look at the history of New York hip hop. You got Ja Rule, DMX, Big Pun. Who else? I'll just say the East Coast. I won't even say just New York. Benzino. Yeah, there've been notable people like Meek Mills, Max B, Rowdy Rebel, Jim Jones, but it's like a handful of niggas. Like if you look at all the Wu-Tang niggas, that's 10 niggas right there, with the exception of Method Man, and he's never really had quote unquote long hair. He just had like twist. Oh, him and ODB. That's not necessarily long hair. They had a little bit of hair, but it wasn't like this shit. This nigga got a blowout. That stands the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Nas, like I said, you know what I'm saying, later in the game, I think Nas started to grow his hair out, late 40s, early 50s. He's got these little twist or braid thingies, whatever the fuck. It's plenty fucking weird. I never understood it. I'm not saying Jay-Z's weird, but it looks like it's like, dog, nigga, did you, like, you got the Bone Thugs and Harmony / Snoop Dogg shit going on. Are you trying to tell us something? That was who you really wanted to be, like, look like? You know what I'm saying? I use them as an example because for the most part, Bone Thugs and Harmony and Snoop Dogg, they've been pretty consistent with their branding and their image. Like the hair is the signature trademark even when they cut their hair off. I think Crazy Bone cut his hair off, Busy Bone cut his hair off, Lazy Bone cut his hair. It stands the fuck out because you've seen them in the spotlight with longer hair than you have with shorter hair. It just stands the fuck out. It almost, to a degree, actually gives you a new perception of their brand. But then one has to ask, at this late in the game, why would you want to? But I figure if you like almost 60 years old and you can grow long hair, hey, from a nigga that's been had long hair for most of my life, look at, if you got it, as long as you can keep it, if you can grow it, man, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Some niggas get tired of the same image and want to go for something brand new, or like I said earlier, maybe this is who he really wanted to look like, but because of industry standards, and like I said, New York niggas was not notorious for having like long hair in the masses. You know what I'm saying? I know there's gonna be some people in the comment section that like chew my head off like, my cousins had long hair. Yeah, motherfucker, that wasn't the consensus. That's the exception, not the rule. And I'm just going off of like mainstream appeal. If that was the perception in New York, or perception that in New York that a lot of niggas had braids, we can affirmatively say from the last 25 to 30 years just in hip-hop, for whatever reason, niggas wasn't rocking that in the spotlight like that. Like I said, it's only been a handful of niggas: Max B, Rowdy Rebel, Jim Jones. Hell, we can throw Method Man and ODB in there if you want to, right? But for all those niggas, you got Ghostface, Raekwon, the rest of the niggas from Wu-Tang, Sean Price, Half a Meal. Hell, Ja Rule. I mean, he had braids for like what, 6 months, but then he went back to the Caesar, or you know what I'm saying, low fade. DMX, the Locks, most of the niggas in the Rough Riders. Like, what are we saying here? Hell, you want to go old school? Q-Tip, De La Soul, Youth Home, Clan X, Grand Nubian. Am I missing something? I know I'm missing a lot of niggas. Most of the Terror Squad niggas, including Fat Joe, Pat Poose, Beanie Siegel. I mean, he's from Philly, but you know, with association with a New York nigga. And even he had braids, but I think it was like, once again, for like 6 months, a year. Then he went back to the low haircut. All the niggas from State Property, with the exception of Petey Crack, but like I said, he's a Philly nigga. So it's not like necessarily like an over an abundance of New York niggas. So it stands the fuck out. What I will say is that this right here is affirmative proof. So all you niggas out there dick eating DJ Academics, I think I seen a post of DJ Academics saying that Jay-Z is trying to compete compete with Drake by growing braids out, and it's like, this nigga's such a dick sucker. I'm not even gonna like acknowledge that shit. In any event, if y'all like this episode, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm out.